Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Lord, I reckon it's Wednesday. Oh, my goodness. What a morning, y'all. I apologize. I was a little bit late. Mark is very sick. He went to the dentist yesterday with a toothache. And where he's had his teeth and stuff capped before, I don't know what the deal was. But they said they could pull the tooth or do a root canal. And where the tooth was is at the bottom and kind of up front, he didn't want to lose his tooth, so he decided to do a root canal. So they gave him some penicillin, some ibuprofen, and sent him home. And he is in extreme pain. He's on the phone with his mom right now. He called down to the dentist, and they said, oh, it'll take several days for the penicillin to take effect. But here's what's scary for me. He's in a lot of pain and he's been throwing up. And his face is not swelled at all. Usually, I have dealt with toothaches for years. Up until I got my top ones pulled and stinking denture. God, I hate saying that word. But I have found by having toothaches that when you're in a lot of pain and your face ain't swelled up, it's bad. It's bad when your face is swelled up. But for me, every time that I was in a lot of pain and my face wasn't swelled, I was extremely sick. Tooth issues are tortures. Yes, Amelia. Good morning, everyone. Melanie, Christina, Vicky, Mike, Cement Shoes, Charlene, Charlie Girl Says, Carolina Girl, Amelia, Empirical Evidence. Anyhow, I decided to go ahead and do my live stream. Before we get started, y'all please say prayers for Sapphire's son. He is sick right now, not feeling good. And also pray for Pam's dog. And I want to show y'all Pam's dog before we get started on the Kristen Smart case. Pam's dog's name's Leonard Skinnerd. And she may kick my butt, but I can't remember the other dog's name. I'm thinking it's Tesla. Yeah, Pam likes, or Never Lose Hope, she likes rock and roll music. Anyways, her doggy went to the vet yesterday. Now, he's had cancer before, and I think they may have took something out of his mouth to test. I can't remember exactly what she said. I'd have to go back and read the message. But I want to share y'all a picture of her dogs. They eat Happy Meals, y'all. These dogs eat Happy Meals. This is not the picture of them eating a Happy Meal. But the pity is Skinnerd. And he has had cancer in his mouth before. And now he's got a place that's back in his mouth. It's going to cost her a lot of money to get him fixed up. So please, please remember him in your thoughts and prayers. He's a sweetheart. Pit bulls get a bad rap, but Skinnerd, he's just as sweet as he can be. As long as nobody messes with him, no other dogs. Let me see if I can find the Happy Meal photo. Oh yeah, right here it is. Sorry guys, I'm not professional. I should have got to my topics, but y'all know how I am over animals and things. So here they are outside eating a Happy Meal. They get Happy Meals. But Skinnerd's a little bit overweight, the vet said, so he's going to have to cut back on his daggone Happy Meals. These two dogs right here are spoiled. They are really, really spoiled. The black dog reminds me of Ladybug an awful lot. I mean, their colors are a little different, but he looks like Ladybug. Okay, let me get all this crap took down here. Not crap, I don't mean the pictures are crap, but my tabs I have opened here. Okay, so we're going to talk about the disappearance of Kristen Smart. I looked into it a little bit yesterday. It's a very interesting case. Actually, for the last 2 days, they have been searching the prime suspect's parents' property with cadaver dogs and groundbreaking radar. Now, he has been the prime suspect for the last 25 years. His name is Paul Flores. I'll pull up his picture and things. He was the last one to see Kristen Smart alive. There's a good podcast about this, but I did not have time to listen to it. I tried to listen to it, and the guy, he digresses worse than me. And I just couldn't get into it, but I'm going to try to go back. Hey, little Kelly. So the Kristen Smart case is local to my hometown. Amelia, I'm having problems pronouncing some of those names, some of those towns' names, so please just overlook that. I want to pull up Kristen's pictures. I wish I'd have shared those in my Discord private room, but I didn't. I could have done it real quick from my phone. I always like to have a visual for y'all, picture or something. Let's get some images. Beautiful young lady. Here's the thing. You know, when most people are accused of being involved with a crime like this, you often hear, oh my God, they would never do anything like that. That was not the case with Paul Flores. No one had a good thing to say about him. He was allegedly a creepy guy, a peeping Tom. He often showed up at parties. Now, this is what some of the friends said and people that went to school with him. He often showed up at parties unannounced. Some of the girls that knew him, they were always looking over their shoulder, afraid Paul was going to show up because he was known as a freaking creep, a weirdo. So Kristen went to a party. Let me see what day this was. May 25th, 1996, which was Memorial Day weekend. She went to a friend's party. She got intoxicated, allegedly. She was found passed out on a lawn. Two friends. One was a girl who had driven there in a car to the party. I guess she lived off campus. And a guy ran into her. They walked her part of the way. And then Paul Flores shows up and he's like, I'll walk her the rest of the way home. So that one girl, she walks to her car and leaves, and the other guy walks back to his dormitory. And Paul takes Kristen, he said, so far, he got to the cutoff to his dorm. He said, and he went to his dorm and she went on home. She disappeared. Now they brought in cadaver dogs to the campus, to the dormitory. 600 rooms there. Cadaver dogs hit on Paul Flores' dormitory. Out of 600 rooms, they hit on his room. But I don't want to get too far ahead of myself here. I want to read like the backstory to you guys. Let me stop screen sharing so I can look at the chat before I get started. San Luis Obispo is how you... I figured out how to pronounce Obispo, but I was having trouble with the San Luis. Is that how you say it? Rio Grande. We just call it the AG. Okay, Amelia, I'm just going to call it the AG. Hey, I got a feeling they're going to solve this case. Now, they have executed several search warrants at Paul Flores' mom's home. What is her freaking name? Susan. Oh, and by the way, Kristen Smart was nicknamed Roxy. Her family called her Roxy. Okay, she was born February 20th, 1977 in Germany to Stan and Denise Smart, who were both teachers. She had one brother and one sister. The Smarts family relocated to the United States during Kristen's childhood, where she was raised in Stockton, California. She was enrolled at California Polytechnic, I think it says that, State University, or Cal Poly. On the night she disappeared, which fell on Memorial Day weekend, Kristin attended a birthday party for a fellow student at approximately 2 a.m. on May 25, 1996. She was found passed out on a neighbor's lawn by two fellow students, Cheryl Anderson and Tim Davis, who both had just left the party. They helped Kristin to her feet and decided to walk her back to her nearby dormitory. Another student from the party, Paul Flores, joined their group and offered to help the two return Kristin to her dorm room safely. Davis departed the group first since he lived off campus and had driven to the party. Oh, my bad. I thought it was the girl that drove. Anderson was the second to depart the group, heading to Sierra Madre Hall after she told Flores that he could walk Kristin back to her dorm since he lived closer. Paul stated to police that he walked Kristin as far as his dormitory, Santa Lucia Hall, and then allowed her to walk back to her dorm by herself. This was the last known sighting of her. She did not have any money or credit cards at the time she went missing. Let me, here in a minute, I'll pull up some pictures and show you guys of Paul. Now, Paul did give a, God, what is that called? A freaking deposition. Like back in the 90s. And he refused to answer any questions. He took the fifth on each question. Okay, so the University Police Department originally suspected that Kristin had gone on an unannounced vacation, as it was common among the students over the holidays, and as a result, were slow in reporting her as a missing person to local law enforcement. During the Lacey Peterson murder investigation, there were unfounded rumors in the media that Lacey's husband, Scott Peterson, had something to do with Kristen Smart's disappearance due to their simultaneously attendance at the Cal Poly campus. There was a brief initial inquiry into whether Scott Peterson was tied to the disappearance, with Scott denying any involvement, and he was eventually ruled out as a suspect by police. Although her body was never discovered, what might be Kristen Smart's earrings were found by a attendant of the former residence of Paul Flores' mother. This earring was not marked as evidence and has since been lost by the police. Between 1996 and 2007, various searches for her remains and other evidence were conducted, some using police dogs trained to detect the scent of human remains, cadaver dogs, including searches of properties owned by the Flores family. No useful leads were found for nearly 2 decades. On September 6, 2016, officials from the San Luis Obispo County Sheriff's Office announced they were investigating a new lead in the case. Cadaver dogs from the FBI were brought in, and investigators were preparing to spend approximately 4 days excavating an area on the Cal Poly campus. After 3 days, items were found at all 3 dig sites, located at the same hillside near Kristen Smart's dorm. A spokesperson for the sheriff's office said, "The items are being analyzed to see whether they are connected to the case, which could take days, weeks, or months. The items recovered are still being investigated as of 2020. Now let's read about the legacy and later developments. Kristen Smart's disappearance and slow response by the campus police resulted in the Kristen Smart Campus Security Act being written and sponsored by State Senator Mike Thompson, passed 61-0 by the California state legislation, and signed into effect by the then Governor Pete Wilson on August 19, 1998. The law took effect on January 1, 1999, and requires all public colleges and publicly funded educational institutions to have their security services make agreements with local police departments about reporting cases involving or possibly involving violence against students, including missing students. Kristen Smart was declared legally dead on May 25, 2002, the 6th anniversary of her disappearance. her parents, Denise and Stan Smart, took a civil case of wrongful death against Paul Flores, one of the 3 students who walked Kristen to her dorm in 2005. The Smart family was represented by James R. Murphy on a pro bono basis. Flores has denied any involvement in the disappearance. The Flores family had also filed a lawsuit against the Smart family for emotional distress. Now, Paul Flores' mother spoke out for the first time in years, just like last night. And basically, she said, they were free to search every inch of her property. But she also said that they had been under a magnifying glass for years and harassed by the police and the Smart family. That's basically what she said. So the sheriff's office still reviews the case on a regular basis, having spent thousands of hours and dollars in the last 5 years. That was between 2011 and 2016. The FBI have her on a file as a high-priority missing persons investigation with a reward of $75,000 for information leading to finding her or resolving her case. Terry Black, a Delta area man, offered $100,000 reward for Smart's body. Beginning September 30th, 2019, Chris Lambert released a series of 8 podcasts. The podcast recounts in details Kristen's probable abduction and subsequent death at the hands of another student on the campus of California Polytech over 23 years ago. The podcast has been downloaded over 5 million times. It renewed public interest and led to a new billboard being put up in January 2020 to replace the original, which had been up since 1997. On January 18, 2020, the Stockton Record reported that the FBI informed Kristen's family that additional news about her disappearance would be coming and that the family might want to get away for a while, but did not provide any specific information. However, on January 22nd, 2020, the Record issued a correction. The FBI did not contact the Smart family. Rather, a retired FBI agent who had been in contact with the family for years was the source of the advice. On January 29th, the police department confirmed that 2 trucks owned by Flores had been taken in as evidence. On February 5th, 2020, search warrants were served for specific items of evidence at 4 different locations. One was in San Luis Obispo, one was in Washington State, and at a home in Los Angeles County. So Paul was briefly detained during that search. Now, Paul is a convicted felon. He was caught driving under the influence, and he became a felon. And they just arrested him, I believe, I think it was like just a couple months ago on suspicion that he had a gun with him. Because felons can't have guns. Okay, on April 22nd, 2020, the Los Angeles Times reported that a search warrant was served at the home of Paul Flores in San Pedro, California. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department assisted detectives from the San Luis Obispo County Sheriff's Department. I know I didn't say that right. It was reported that numerous items of interest were successfully found during the search. The Sheriff's Department is now continuing the investigation, but no further public information is available at this time. Those items of interest included computer towers, cell phones, and electronics decades old. On February 11th, 2021, KSBY reported that Paul Flores was arrested by the Los Angeles Department on suspicion of being a felon in possession of a firearm, which is a felony. Yeah, it's like about 10 years in prison, and I think if you get caught with bullets, it's about 10 years each bullet. On March 15, 2021, a search warrant was issued to search Ruben Flores' home, including the use of cadaver dogs, ground penetrating radar, and an older model Volkswagen, was being towed from the home of Ruben Flores after cadaver dogs searched the vehicle. Uh-oh. Do you think cadaver dogs could still pick up a scent 25 years later? Who knows? Anything's possible. Dogs are amazing creatures. I want to get some pictures of Paul here. Just give me 1 second. And I'm going to look at the chat. See what you guys are saying. Because y'all probably know a lot more about this case than I do. I don't know a whole lot about it. I just know that he was a creep and nobody had anything good to say about him. All the girls were creeped out by him. I watched one friend's interview and he's like, you know, when these cases happened, a lot of people would be like, oh my gosh, this person couldn't have done that. There's no way they're capable of that. But in this case, when Paul's name was mentioned, everybody they talked to was like, oh yeah, I would say he would be capable of hurting someone because he was a creep. He used to call people. He used to call other students and do prank phone calls, hang up on them. And also he was caught being a peeping Tom several different times, I think. Let me get... Oh my gosh, there's a lot of Paul Flores's. Let me put Kristen's name in with it. I hope they can bring her family some closure. We'll look at the older picture, but I've got a newer picture somewhere. Just think, if someone hadn't have nabbed her or whatever happened to her, she'd be a grown woman now with kids, maybe even grandkids, who knows. I know, let's see, she disappeared in what, 96? Gosh, I was still in high school in 96. I didn't graduate till like 98. Oh, let me get to his picture. Here we go. Can you guys see that? Let me see if there's any... Okay, so there's an older picture of Paul, known as the class creep. Kristen was beautiful. I think, you know, here's what I think. There they are using that ground penetrating radar. He was known as a creep. All the girls used to probably blow him off, you know, and not want anything to do with him. And he saw an opportunity to have maybe the girl that he had a crush on, or maybe he just saw an opportunity. She was very intoxicated, and maybe he saw his chance and took it. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm getting all tongue-tied here. Crime of opportunity, basically, is what I'm saying. Let's see. There was some family pictures. Gosh, I can't believe it's been like 25 years. Let me see. What else we can find here? I'm just scrolling for pictures, guys. Oh, there he is. There is a picture how he looks now. Now, I watched his deposition because he had to give a deposition because Kristen's family sued him and his family because he was the last one to see her. Anyways, at the deposition, I can share the link. Y'all can watch it. He didn't answer anything. As soon as he sat down, he told him, well, his lawyer did, that he was going to take the fifth, and they explained to him that they still had to ask the questions, and after every question, he had to repeat, I take the Fifth Amendment. Which is, they said something about that being illegal. I don't know exactly what they meant by that. Okay, now let's look at the chat. I want to know what Amelia's saying, because... Hey, never lose hope. I showed pictures of your dogs, by the way. Well, he is sick, but I decided to go ahead and do my live because he's just sitting in there waiting to hear back from the doctor. Pismo is beautiful, but not. My youngest son was born in 96. I would absolutely be crazy if one of my kids went missing. I can't imagine my kid being missing. I can't imagine what these parents go through. I don't know how they sleep, eat, or function. I will be out there searching for my kid non-stop. Non-stop. And you know, it'd be an awful feeling for your kid to be missing for years. You don't know if they're dead, alive, their body thrown somewhere like a piece of trash, their body chopped up or whatever. It's just so sad. La Jolla. I don't know what you're talking about, Lisa. I'm just going along with you. La Jolla, what does that mean? We can't see the pics? Oh, y'all couldn't see the pics? Damn screen sharing. Hold on a minute. Let me get them back up. Sometimes where I use this Bing search and this messy and crap, if I'm screen sharing and switch tabs, it won't share that next tab. Can y'all see now? That's Paul. Here's a picture of him when he was young. Could do a side by side. Why is it not doing it? I'm trying to pull it up. Huh. Okay, so anyways. There he is. Can y'all see now? Let me go back to my chat and see. Okay, you can see now. Okay. Okay, this stupid StreamYard, you know, you think that they would have, it would do better. Because I pay like 22, I believe it's like $22 or $23 a month for this. And half the time it don't even work right. Okay, let's see what else. There he is when he was young. There he is arrested. I don't know. I remember reading something about a black truck. Paul used to have a black truck. Oh, yeah. What was it? I didn't read it. I was listening to an interview. And they said that it was one of the classmates. They said they was always, when they gathered up and would have parties, they were always looking out the window for Paul to pull up in his truck. Hold on one sec. The colonel wants through the door. Come on, baby. Come on. Lady, don't be angry. Lady's always hateful to Smokey. Stop it, lady. Stop growling. She is so jealous over me. Let me see. There's some daggone dry dog food in a bowl here. Let me get it out of the way. Okay. My dog's a little ladybug is food aggressive because the people that had her first about starved her to death. Anyways, my dog's got me sidetracked. There Paul is. I've been looking for the 48 hours episode about this case, and I couldn't find it on YouTube. I can only find little clips. There Paul is. I guarantee he killed her. Usually the last person to see somebody alive is involved in their disappearance. Or death. Last person to see somebody alive or see somebody before they go missing. Y'all know what I mean. Anyways, let's see if I can find that video of Paul's mother. Give me 1 second. I know this will probably mess up my audio. Here, Susan Flores. Let me get the ad done and I'll share it with you guys. Probably have to unplug my mic.
5 years, the mother of Paul Flores.
Okay, let me screen share. Make sure I share the audio. Here we go.
Susan is giving her side of the story. KSBY's Megan Healy spoke with her exclusively about the case in today's search. She joins us now live in Arroyo Grande. And Megan, after such a long time, why is she speaking out now?
Nina, Susan Flores tells me that her and her family have been under a magnifying glass, really dealing with threats, harassment, and taunting for nearly 25 years, many coming from those people on some of those social media sites. Now, she tells me that she believes her son Paul has been a scapegoat in this. She says she does want to find justice for Kristen, but she says the answers do not lie with her family.
They keep trying. to find the answers with us, and they keep failing because the answers aren't here.
In her first ever interview, Susan Flores says she has no reason to believe her family is connected to the 1996 disappearance of Cal Poly student Kristen Smart.
I let them dig up my yard in 2007. They could have had a field day there. They brought in the GPR, and they did this and did that, found a couple of anomalies, a rock and a piece of metal fitting. They could have my yard is teensy over there. They could have taken out the whole yard, but their insurance wouldn't pay for it. Oh, but I've been accused of not letting them dig up the whole yard. Oh no, they wouldn't.
She says years of search warrants have taken a toll on her boyfriend, Ruben Flores, her daughter, Ermelinda, and her son, Paul. He has been named a prime suspect in the Smart case. Susan says she's not surprised by this week's search, but it's not something she's gotten used to.
It's unfathomable. Why? How? I mean, you see there are no fences here. No fences. And they're looking for remains of somebody. There's never been a fence up on this lot. It makes no sense.
Like many others, she wants justice for Kristin.
I would like to see the family have their answers. If it was my daughter, I'd want the answers.
She says conversations with Paul about the case are private, both of them waiting to see where it all leads.
How do you prove that Paul's innocent?
That'll be up to his attorney if we go that far, won't it?
She's in denial.
God knows he is. That's all that matters.
Susan plans on taking further legal action and has plans to write a book about scrutiny her family has endured.
No amount of money in this world, no litigation, is going to give back us 25 years of our lives, of the changes they made for us.
Now, Susan also tells me that she believes the investigation has been unfair thus far. We also talked about a multitude of other things. You can read more about that full interview, exclusive interview I had with her tonight on our website, ksby.com. Live in Arroyo Grande.
Aurora Grande. Okay, that's how you pronounce it. What in the hell was she talking about that fence, y'all? What in the world was she talking about? What? I didn't understand that. She was like, there's never been a fence here. What does that even mean? I didn't understand that. Was she trying to say like anybody could have walked up on the property and put a body on her property? I don't understand. Of course, no one wants to think that the child that they gave birth to, loved and raised, would be capable of hurting someone, killing someone. No one wants to think that, but I think she is in some deep denial. Now, is it possible that Paul walked her so far, went his own way, and some weirdo was driving by, some predator, and grabbed her? That's a possibility, but I don't think that's what happened. I think Paul knows exactly what happened to Kristin. He did not walk her to his dormitory or to hers. I think he took her somewhere else. He got her into his vehicle, and he drove her off somewhere else. He raped her, and then he had to murder her. That's what I think. She sure was whining. Yeah, I know. I mean, I can't imagine being someone's mother and everybody in the world thinks that my kid killed someone. Of course you wouldn't want to believe it. But knowing me, I would be looking at the facts and evidence in the case. I love my son more than anything. I'd give him my last breath of air, but I would not take up for him if he hurt someone. I just couldn't. It's not possible because the cadaver dogs hid on his mattress. Yes, Amelia, out of 600 rooms in that dormitory, that's what I heard on the podcast, 600 rooms in that dormitory. They searched all those rooms, but the cadaver dogs only hid on his room. And the cadaver dogs evidently hid on that Volkswagen they were hauling away. Is that possible for a dog to pick up a scent 25 years later? That seems a little out there to me, but what do I know, you know? Anyways, I pray that they get answers. I know that they did search, 2 days this week, Monday and Tuesday, that property. And they hauled the car away. They found something, or they think they found something, is what I'm thinking. And why were they searching for her body in Washington State? What makes them think that that is a possibility that she may be in Washington State? What's his connections there? That sounds crazy. Yeah, which part of it? The dog hitting 25 years later? According to that article, the dog searched that vehicle and then they hauled it away. So that tells me that dog made a hit there. It's crazy. Dogs are amazing, though. Be surprised what they can smell. You know that there are dogs that can pick up a scent of a dead body underwater? Yes, they can. His sister lives in Washington? Oh, okay, Amelia. Luminol will show up no matter how long. Yeah. Even like on hardwood flooring or something. You get blood on the floor and you clean it up, they can use luminol and tell exactly where it was at. Don't matter how long ago it was. But anyhow, we'll keep following this. Hopefully there'll be some new developments. I'm going to keep researching this case because there's a lot that I don't know about it. And we'll do another stream about it when I learn some more information. I also want to talk about this morning, before I get off here, the missing lady from the Virgin Islands that disappeared off her boyfriend's Catamaran. There was a new article put up about it. Her name is Sarm Heslop. She is from the UK. Her boyfriend, his name is Ryan Bain, and he is from the United States. I found an article it tells a little bit more details about the relationship, how they got together. And here's the thing, they have not been together that long. Let me share her picture. Yeah, they've only been together a couple of years. I thought this was like a really, really long relationship, which a couple of years is long, I guess. Okay, search for Sarm Heslop continues as questions mount. Why haven't police searched the catamaran where she was last seen? I had no idea what a catamaran was, y'all. I had to look it up yesterday. New details about the troubling disappearance of the adventurous British woman who vanished without a trace and without her personal belongings. A British flight attendant who vanished over a week ago remains missing in the Virgin Islands as questions surround the investigation. Sarm Heslop had been staying on a catamaran with her boyfriend Ryan Bain when she vanished either the night of March 7th or the early morning hours of March 8th, 2021. She and Ryan Bain, who owns the Siren Song yacht that was moored near the island of St. John, reportedly went to dinner on March 7th, returned to the 47-foot vessel sometime before 10 p.m. At 2 a.m., hours after the couple went to sleep, Ryan Bain reportedly told police that he woke up to the sound of the anchor alarm, indicating the vessel had drifted, and discovered that Heslop was gone. Her personal belongings, including her passport and cell phone, had been left behind. According to a report in the Telegram, Ryan Bain notified the U.S. Coast Guard of Sarm Heslop's disappearance at about 11:45 a.m. on March 8th. He waited almost 10 hours to report her missing. What was happening during those intervening hours? We are very keen to understand that, said Chris Wilson, a longtime friend of Heslop's from the UK. Wilson told Crime Online that Sarm, who has traveled extensively and lived in multiple countries, first arrived in St. John in late 2019. Prior to that, she had been working on the south coast of Spain and had taken up sailing with a friend. Eventually, she, the friend, and the friend's partner sailed across the Atlantic to St. John and stayed there through the early part of the pandemic. Though the precise timeline of Sarm's travels is unclear, she is believed to have met Ryan Bain sometime after her initial arrival to the U.S. Virgin Islands. Wilson said that at some point in 2020, Heslop left the Virgin Islands for Malta, but eventually returned. The decision to return to St. John was driven in part by her relationship with Ryan Bain, the friend said. Sarm now lives and works with Ryan Bain on Siren Song, a charter that he rents out, remaining on the vessel as its captain during tours. Yesterday, I couldn't figure out if he rented the boat from someone else and chartered, but no, he owns the boat and rents it out, I guess, does tours. Wilson said he did not know Ryan Bain and did not have any more information about Heslop's relationship with him. But he said that until the day of her disappearance, Sarm Heslop remained in regular contact with an extended group of friends who have mobilized together to raise awareness about Sarm Heslop's disappearance. There were text conversations right up until Sunday, Wilson said, adding that he was not aware of anything out of the ordinary in her communications. Whatever she does, she is very sensible and maintains close contact with her friends. That's absolutely key to her. That's why it's a troubling situation that she's been out of touch for this long, Wilson said. Police officials in the U.S. Virgin Islands have been unable or unwilling to cooperate. Details provided by sources about the last evening Sarm was seen. Crime Online has been unable to reach the restaurant where she and Ryan Bain have said to have dined on March 7th. As the Telegraph reports, police in the Virgin Islands said on Monday that investigators plan to search the vessel, but officials told the newspaper that a search hadn't taken place as of Tuesday. What is the holdup here? This man has had, I don't know how many hours, a week. I mean, he's had a week to clean up this freaking vessel. If you wake up in the middle of the water, you're on a freaking boat, and your partner's not in bed with you, they're nowhere on the boat, their belongings are left behind. A normal person would pick up the phone and call the Coast Guard, but he waited almost 10 hours. That is so strange. What was he doing in those 10 hours? Cleaning up the crime scene? Wouldn't a normal person that wakes up on a boat, a yacht, catamaran, whatever you want to call it, and you're anchored, you wake up to this siren going off that your boat's drifting, the anchors come up or something, you wake up, your partner's not there. Wouldn't you be frantic that they weren't on the yacht? Wouldn't you be thinking, oh my God, they might have fell overboard, somebody might have took a rowboat, paddled up here and took them off, or anything. He did not seem panicked at all. Now, some of his friends said that he had been feeling guilty and remorseful, and I'm like, remorseful about what? Remorseful that he did something to her, or was he remorseful he didn't report her missing? Now, according to him, they went to dinner, they come home around 10 p.m., they watched a movie, fell asleep. 2 a.m., he wakes up to the siren going off. The boat's drifting. Wakes up, she's not there. Credit card, cell phone, everything left behind. Now, her friends haven't said if she confided in them about, if they had trouble in their relationship or not. But, a lot of people like to keep things like that to themselves because, they don't want people turning against their partner or thinking bad of them. So she may not have shared, if they had relationship problems or not. But they sure haven't been together long. I mean, she arrived in St. John, it said what? Right before the pandemic? So they've not been together all that long. Let me see. First arrived in St. John late 2019. Wilson said at some point in 2020. So she must have met him somewhere between when she arrived in St. John in 2019 to 2020, sometime between that. Y'all know what I mean. I'm getting tongue-tied. I'd like to find a picture of him. Let's see if we can find this Ryan Bain guy. Yeah, I call bullshit. I say they got in an argument He strangled her or hit her with something, and he took her and dropped her in the water somewhere else. Now, he's got a fancy-wancy boat. They will be able to tell every location he went in that catamaran. Now, I did think to myself, could he be abusive? Could she have jumped off that boat and swam to shore, left her stuff behind to make it look like, make him think she fell off the boat or something just to get away from him? It's almost like a sleeping with the enemy theory there, like that movie. That's a possibility. I don't think that happened, though. I think he did something to her. Hold on, I'm going to get on my phone and see if I can find a picture of him. I want to know what this guy looks like. Since I don't have Facebook, I can't look him up on there. Ooh, I found it. I found a picture of him. Let's see what he looks like. Looks like a little pipsqueak to me. Let me get this article shared into my Discord room and I'll pull it up for you guys. Okay, I've been interested in seeing what he looked like, and I keep forgetting to look it up. And before I get off here, I will tell you a funny story about Shaquille O'Neal. We'll end our stream on a funny note. Okay, screen share it. Gosh, I don't know why they make you push 100 different things to screen share. Okay, so there is Ryan Bain. Where did he get the money to buy this fancy-wancy catamaran? Why the hell do they call it that for? What's the difference between a sailboat and a catamaran? Or are they the same thing? I don't know. Maybe they're different somewhere. There is a photograph of the man who owns the catamaran that a 41-year-old British woman went missing from in St. John 6 days ago. Okay, so this article is March 13th. Bain, who owns and captains the 47-foot Siren Song, said he was awakened by the sound of the boat's anchor alarm, which sounds when a vessel is moved too far from its mooring, before discovering his girlfriend was missing. The U.S. Coast Guard told local media it was alerted to Heslop's disappearance at 11:46 a.m., a nearly 10-hour gap in time between when Bain said he noticed Heslop missing and when he first reported it to authorities. What was his excuse for waiting so long? And how did the anchor get up? Don't you got to push a button for the anchor to come up? Okay. The news comes as police searching for the missing woman from Southampton continued to scour land and water off of Frank Bay in St. John. And I just want to say, she was familiar, or the locals were familiar with her, and they are helping search. They are frantic. A lot of them really, really liked her because she is a nice person. Probably a talkative person. A friend of Bain said he seems remorseful and sad since Heslop's disappearance. What is he remorseful of? What is he remorseful of? I don't understand that statement. He seems remorseful since Sarm Heslop's disappearance. He is beside himself with grief and worry, they said. He is heartbroken. I know from what he said that Ryan and Sarm were very much in love. Well, you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. Just because somebody acts happy, like people act happy in front of you, and they're getting along, that don't mean anything. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. Okay, so the friend added Bain was awakened around 2 a.m. by the sound of his yacht's anchor alarm. Ryan said his anchor alarm went off, they added. He woke up, felt Sarm wasn't in bed. He got up, went around the boat, and there was no sign of her. Bain grew up in Michigan and was sailing on the Great Lakes by the age of 10. He is a 50-ton merchant mariner with a Bachelor of Arts degree from Michigan State University. He had tried his hand at various business ventures, but the Siren Song of the Virgin Islands kept calling his name, a brochure states. Raised in a suburb of Detroit, Captain Ryan was cruising on his first sailboat by the age of 10. Following Heslop's disappearance, the 41-year-old's friends have been left devastated and have urged authorities to make the search for her a critical priority. I don't know if that's her on the boat with it. This lady has dark hair. Her friends were at home. Her friends here at home are devastated and just need her disappearance to be made a critical priority. A friend said they were told that Heslop's phone, passport, belongings had all been left behind on the yacht. She would not just disappear, leaving no trace, they said. We would like to thank all the local community for their support in searching for Sarm, both on water and land, another friend added. They have been so amazing, but we urge them to not give up until she is found or we have more information. Sarm Heslop is described as a slim 41-year-old woman with a Southern English accent and a tattoo on her left shoulder. She was last seen on board on Sunday before her boyfriend called the Coast Guard's San Juan station, reporting that his girlfriend may have fallen from the yacht. The Leopard 4700 model Catamaran was moored off the coast of St. John, which has a population of 4,170 residents. Small. So they weren't like docked at a boat dock, from what I'm understanding. They were like out in the water. So why wasn't he panicked? I mean, if you wake up and you find someone's missing from a boat, the first thing you do is call the Coast Guard, right? Wouldn't you be like tripping out? Yes, the Natalie Holloway. I remember that case. I love Natalie Holloway's dad. He did that one series a couple years ago, and it just broke my heart just listening to him. You know, especially when he was talking with those private investigators, and he had, they were talking about what may have happened to Natalie, and he had to get up and leave the room. He was crying. He has never gave up looking for his daughter. Yeah, if you wake up and someone's not on board, you panic, especially out in water, If they were docked, at a boat dock or something, I could see not being panicked out because they could have got off the boat and went for a walk or done anything. Bye, Amelia. My little man is up and around. I got to get going. Nice talking with you all. Thank you, Sissy. Oh, thank you, Amelia, for coming in the chat. I love it when you come in. You're such a nice lady. Jellyfish are painful. Oh, my brother got stung by a jellyfish when we were at Nack's Head. He still got the scar on his leg. There had been a big storm. This was like in the 80s when I was little. There was like a big storm, hurricane. There's some jellyfish that washed all the way in from Africa. I kid you not. This is what the doctor said. Anyways, one got a hold of my brother's leg. He had to go to the emergency room and get treated, but he ended up having to have, put meat tenderizer on his leg. I think he got some kind of medicine, too. Why would he hurt that beautiful girl? She said no. The only thing I can figure out about this Sarm Heslop case is they got in an argument and he snapped on her and strangled her or hit her with something. That's what I think. And I think it took him 10 hours to report her missing because he was cleaning up the scene. Vinegar is what we use here to make them fall off. Oh, really? Vinegar's good for sunburns. Really good for sunburns. Oh, yeah. Speaking of burns, I want to tell y'all something about Shaquille O'Neal before I get off here. I'm going to have to get off here and go check on Mark, see what he's doing. Anyways, I came across a funny story on TMZ. Y'all know how Shaquille O'Neal is like the spokesperson for Icy Hot? Well, Shaquille O'Neal was at let me just read this to you. He was at a basketball game, and he had to get somebody in the locker room to rub Icy Hot on his leg, up on his thigh. Well, they got up there a little bit too high. Anyways, he gets on the basketball court, and his private parts start burning. He has to rush off of the court and go take a shower. When he went to take a shower, it just spread the icy hot and made it worse, made it burn worse. And so a janitor in the locker room told him to put milk on it. So anyway, the janitor gets him a little, pint of milk. Anyways, his teammates walk in to the locker room, and Shaquille O'Neal is standing there in the shower pouring milk over his gonads. There, I don't got to read the whole thing. It was funny. He said, I burned my nuts with icy hot. Oh my goodness. If you use that stuff, wash your hands. I have been burned up with that stuff too, in areas that it should not be. Do not touch yourself in your private areas unless you wash your hands. Do not go pee and wipe with icy hot on you, okay? I'd not want to see a jellyfish next to me. I know. You know what I hate at the beach? Those little crabs that pinch you. Speaking of crabs, I got crabs. No, not body crabs, hermit crabs. I got some huge hermit crabs. I'm going to have to put some videos up of them. I've only got 3 crabs left now. I've had my hermit crabs for years. They got like a big 100-gallon tank they're in. They're huge. Your main girl had a story something like that on her channel. Oh my goodness. I think that's so funny. Shaquille O'Neal, he does all those icy hot commercials. He has for years. And he got that crap on his nuts. I got icy hot in my eyes. Cried like a Kennedy widow. You're so funny. Uh-oh. Princess Skylar's up from her beauty sleep. What you do, baby? She's over here licking her lips at me. She is not happy with me because I only gave her a little bit of dinner this morning. I just gave her one little Caesar dinner. Oh gosh, she's a food addict, so I'm going to have to go give her some more. I've been trying to put her on a diet. So I've been feeding her those smile dinners. No, honey, that don't work. She raises hell till you give her more. Some chili pain relief rub. Oh my goodness. One time, y'all, speaking of chili, it reminded me of peppers. One time I got brave at the Chinese restaurant, and I ate one of those real small peppers, and I felt like I was one of those cartoon characters with smoke coming out my ear. It burnt my ears, my mouth, everything. Can I use that widow joke? I'm sure he won't mind. I use Mitch uses things all the time. He's got one saying, don't be a weirdo, be a cool kid. Something like that. All I needed was a pink pillbox hat. You'd look like a Kennedy widow. Oh my goodness. Well, guys, I'm going to get off here, and Mike says, I love hot and spicy. Well, you know what? I don't like real hot things. I like things just, kind of mild, not real hot. And my papa, oh my gosh, every morning, y'all, he used to get up and put an egg in a glass with milk and Tabasco sauce, a little salt and pepper, and drink that crap. And I was always like, Papa, what in the hell? And he said, it's good for you. I like a tingle myself. I bet you do, Mel. See, I put hot sauce in everything. Oh my gosh, I met this Hispanic guy. Me and Mark were at a bar in Florida at his uncle's bar. And he pulled out this little bottle of hot sauce. It hadn't been opened, and gave it to me. I had saw him down there putting it in his beer and everything, and I was like, oh my goodness. anyways, he came down there and bought me a beer and tried to get me to do it. And me and Mark was like, no, no, no. I accepted the hot sauce, of course. I didn't use it, though, because I didn't know that guy. He could have resealed it. Who knows? But anyways, y'all have a great day. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for your support. I will see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place. Hopefully it's the same time. I'm going to try to do it at 10:30, 10:35. Anyways, have a great day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I wish y'all all kinds of luck today. I hope y'all go play the lottery and win. Speaking of lottery, I won $50 the other day. But anyways, be safe, be kind, and peace. Oh, and prayers for Never Lose Hope's dog and Sapphire's son.